The essential points in the successful use of the law of assumption are these. First and above all, yearning, longing, intense, burning desire. That's what's important. With all of your heart, you must want to be different from what you are. Intense, burning desire is the mainspring of action, the beginning of all successful ventures. In great passion, desire is concentrated. This was written in Neville Goddard's iconic book, The Power of Awareness. You need to understand 100% if this is actually what you want, and you want to want it so much that your doubts get faded away into the background. You don't need to be sitting there and trying to fix all of your doubts and your emotions. Your burning desire is so strong that literally it is the launching pad to you beginning to manifest that which you desire. But it can't manifest within a couple of days if it's not something that within your heart of hearts is something that you actually want. So what does this mean? Hi everyone, I hope we're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be talking about the fact that your desire is the launching pad to all of your manifestations. Without having a burning, yearning desire and nothing less, you won't get what it is that you want. Not in 24 hours, not in a month, not in a year. I'm sorry guys, but it's just the truth. Before manifesting your little hearts out, y'all need to actually sit down with yourselves and think, do I actually want this thing? Because your inner being does not lie to you. You will know if you actually desire something or if it's something that society just told you that you need to be doing. Now there's a difference. Society can tell you something, but through that and you wanting it, for example, oh, it's cool to have a boyfriend, so you want an SP, right? Or society tells you it's cool now to be stick thin. We're getting to that. The BBL is slowly and surely fading away. I mean, I don't want that to happen, but let's just say for all intents and purposes, society is now saying that BBL is gone, like you want to be stick thin, and society's telling you that, okay? So there's a difference. That could totally be fine, right? But there's a difference between society telling you something and you automatically grabbing and clinching onto that and being like, this is exactly what I want right now, but not actually sitting with yourself and realizing why it is that I want something. You can want whatever it is that you want. Before manifesting anything, you need to sit down and be like, how much am I actually physically yearning for this right now? Because maybe on paper I want something. You know, I want an SP when I'm laying down in bed alone at night and I'm, crying and I want someone to hold me, something like that. But then for the rest of the day, and I'm not saying that's what you should be feeling all the time, but as an example, you're really yearning for it at nighttime and then for the rest of the day, completely, totally forget about it. You have to sit down with yourself and truly feel the yearning of your desire, understand why it is that you want this thing, and not understand it on paper like I'm gonna write down a list of all of the things that I want and why I want them, and then it's just on paper theoretically. No, you have to go within yourself in meditation or just in a quiet room by yourself and truly think about this. You don't even have to feel it. That's not what I'm saying. Really think about it. Number one, is this something that me as a person I want? Regardless if it's cool right now or if society's saying, because that's totally fine, whatever. Really go in. Do I want this? How much do I want it? What is it about this thing that I want? Don't think about it theoretically. Actually understand those desires. And if you're not having this yearning for it, then the manifestation isn't going to launch up like a rocket. There's a difference between someone wanting to move to New York and having a yearning, burning desire for it. It's all they can think about. It's consuming their entire life. There are so many people I talked to in Australia that was like, oh, it would be so nice to move to New York, blah, 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 blah. That's all well and good. Congratulations. But you need to be wanting it with your entire being. I had a thought of wanting to go to New York and move there and thinking, wouldn't it be nice? But as I started to think about it more, it manifested more into my mind. And then I started seeing more things about it. And then I started started feeling as if I physically cannot live in Sydney anymore. I need to be in New York. It's like it was pulling me. And my desire got so strong that I was completely engulfed in it. I was sleeping to New York sounds. I was thinking about it non-stop every single day. It completely consumed me. And I'm not saying you have to think about it 24/7 every single day, but you need to have this strong, there's a feeling of wanting it. And wouldn't it be nice to, this is a deep, longing, yearning, burning, passionate desire that I have within myself. Another example, having a big, juicy gluteus maximus, going to the gym every single couple of days, 4 times a day, damn, 4 times a week, 4 to 5 times a week. It's all very nice and good to go on Instagram and see someone that looks incredible and be like, I totally want to look like this person. I totally want to look like Tammy Hembrow, for example, right? It's all very good to want that and start manifesting it and thinking about it, but if you're not actually yearning for it and wanting it so much to the point of like, I am going to go to the gym and do this, you're not going to want to go to the gym. 4 times a week is a really big commitment. I'm not saying you have to put in forced action, but I'm sorry guys, you will have to put in action. And this action will feel like you're not putting any action in at all. Let me be clear about this. I wanted to be very fit, and I started my fitness journey at 19, but I wasn't very consistent, right? I wanted it in theory, but there were so many other things that I wanted. I wanted to go out with my friends. I wanted to have cheat meals on Saturday and Sunday for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, for example, with my boyfriend. All of these other outlying factors trumped going to the gym and eating right and being in that mindset. The mindset is going to come to you naturally when the desire of wanting to look a certain way and feel a certain way trumps literally everything. Literally everything gets blown out of the water, and it's gonna be like ants on the ground and you're just flying high above it. Like, you're not gonna care. You're not gonna care that your boyfriend is asking you to go out and have some burgers for the 50th time that weekend. It's not going to give you any want or desire to order that burger when he's in the McDonald's drive-thru, because your desire to be fit will trump that. I went through so many things and I realized that the most important thing to me, my priority, was how I looked, right? And this is manifesting into reality now, but this has happened before. Before I moved to America, I lost 44 pounds because my wanting to lose that weight trumped everything else, and that was my priority. And it was so easy for me to do it because that desire was burning so much inside of me that I didn't care about anything else. I'm not saying you have to do this for just one thing. You can totally do this for multiple, but I'm just saying in this example, right? So it was so easy for me. But taking into this example now, it's even stronger because I've gotten more in tune with manifesting and understanding the law more. And so I started manifesting looking incredible, having this fit body, but I didn't want it to feel like I was forcing it, right? And before doing this, going to the gym 3 times a week, doing like the bare minimum, and I'm like tearing up because like I'm just realizing the comparison of like not manifesting and manifesting and how easy it is, even though I'm doing more now. So let me continue. So without manifesting, I would go to the gym 3 times a week, and this is me years into the gym. I have had that progressive overload, whatever. I've had that strength, that stamina. Like, I know what I'm doing at the gym, right? But without manifesting it and like, you know, forcing it and not actually sitting there and internally deciding like, I'm yearning for this, like I want this, right? Going to the gym 3 times a week was literally the hardest thing ever. It felt like I was rowing a boat upstream. But as soon as I started manifesting and feeling as if I was this person who was so fit, I felt lighter, I was moving lighter, all of that good stuff, because when I moved to the US, I did gain a couple of pounds. So when I started doing that, I started getting random gym YouTube recommendations of workouts that before Trust me, I've seen plenty, but they didn't inspire anything inside of me. Now all of a sudden, I'm finding out about Liana Deeb and Chrissy Chella. Like, these people have been around, but I didn't know about them. I had no idea who these people were. I manifested it, they came and they were attracted into my life. And something about those two girls, and also now Bailey Stewart, I believe, recently I started watching her, and it's just like, that was like the cherry on top of the cake, bitch. Like, I'm watching those three and I'm just like, yes. So, okay, so I started watching them, and something about those three girls just elicited so much inspiration within myself that I just had this big yearning and desire to be fit. And that happened when I was manifesting it, but even more so because I was inspired, and something just clicked within me, and I started getting these downloads of like, girl, like, lovingly, you need to have way more progressive overload. You need to be going to the gym 4 times a week, not 3 times a week. And you need to be literally destroying yourself at the gym. You need to be lifting heavy, and you need to be literally out of breath, almost dying, not being able to almost walk. That's how you get gains. And that download, that was nothing new to me. I've been in the game for a long time, but there's a difference between reading something theoretically in a book and reading something theoretically and having it hit you like a ton of bricks, right? I've known about the law of assumption for a hot minute, but it's like, as soon as I read Neville Goddard, his words, his own words, it hit me like a ton of bricks. That might not be it for you, it might be something else, but the law of attraction and manifesting, I'm sorry, but those two things do go together. Law of attraction and law of assumption, they go together. As I started reading Neville, I felt more powerful in my manifestations because I was inspired. So anyways, so going back to the gym, something about these girls hit me like a ton of bricks. I started getting these downloads, and I started visualizing myself, you know, looking how I want to look. And that download came to me, and I truly felt it without, you know, just reading it and understanding it. I understood it fully for years, but it really just, and it came in such a loving way. It wasn't like, you need to fucking go to work. It came in such like an inspiring, loving way that it was like, now I know what to do. And it was such an easy, flowy thing. And so I want you to go by inspired action when you are fulfilling your manifestations. You need to put the work in. But now I'm gonna get into this. It's not going to feel like work when you manifest. It's going to be inspired action. So I started feeling all of these things, right? Watching these girls, getting all of these advice, like inner guidance literally just came to me. And what started to happen was I would start going to the gym 4 times a week. It felt like work on paper, right? Like I was lifting the weight. It was a heavy weight. I was panting. But because I was so inspired, it was fun and it didn't feel like work, and I was in tune. It felt like I was in a boat, in a kayak, whatever, and I was going downstream. I had music playing, I had my pre-workout, I had 8 hours of sleep. Everything fell into place perfectly, and it all just came together because I finally decided that this is something that I want. This is something that I'm yearning for. I want this more than anything right now. And when I decided that and then started visualizing, things started coming to me so easily that yes, I had to put in the work, but it didn't feel like work. It just felt like things just all coming together. And yes, of course, I have to put in the action. There's no going around that. Sometimes things fall in your lap, but this thing literally feels like it fell into my lap. Guys, today I had a leg day, and it was the hardest leg day that I had in my entire life. I did the heaviest weights for squats that I've done ever since 19. And then 4 sets, then I did 4 sets of Romanian deadlifts, and then I did 4 sets of hip thrusts. These are huge compound exercises that I would never have imagined of doing in my life before, right? And then I had the energy to come home and film. Whereas I remember a couple of months ago, I would do that like a little bit lighter, and I was just in bed all day because I was just so exhausted. Do you know what I mean? So when you realize your desire, when you visualize it, when you know that you want it more than anything, more than life itself, maybe not more than life itself, but do you understand the difference between wanting and yearning? Like even the word yearning just holds so much weight and power to it. So that's when everything attracts to you. That's when everything falls into your lap. Yes, on paper, you're doing the work, you're putting in action, but you know what to do because it's an impulse and it doesn't even feel like today, it didn't even feel like I was doing it. It felt like I was just being led. This applies to anything that you want. Your SP, getting more money, getting a promotion at work, knowing what you want. That's not enough. You have to understand the contents of what it is that you want and feel the yearning of wanting this thing. Not, oh, I want to go to the gym. No, I'm fucking dying to shed my pounds. I'm fucking dying to get a boyfriend, and not in the desperate way, but knowing the difference of, oh, it's so nice to have a boyfriend, we're gonna go on dates, it's gonna be so fun, to no, I am gonna feel like I have a person that fully, deeply understands me. So my thing is like being fully and deeply understood. It could be completely different to you. Even if it is dates for you, right? Even if it is cuddling at night, right? Whatever it is. But you have to fully and deeply understand what it is and feel those feelings of wanting it so much. It can't just be a surface level want. It has to be something deep within you, something deeply rooted. That root is going to take such strength, and that is what's going to shoot up. Like, your manifestations will come into fruition so quickly, like within a couple of days, once you truly grow that root. And that root is you feeling with such clarity and understanding that that is what you want, and you know the reasons and you feel the reasons as to why. I want a boyfriend because I want to feel understood, right? I want someone to fully be there for me and understand me. One of the reasons, but just as an example. Another person wants a boyfriend to want to go to the gym with someone, or something, you know, shallow, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. You can have any reason that you want in the world, but you need to identify that reason, and then going into that, no matter how shallow it is, and it's totally okay, whatever, like, it's your prerogative. Feel it so strongly within yourself that you know exactly why, and it just is a feeling that goes so deeply within you, and you just know, right? I don't know, I can just imagine my friend being like, oh my god, imagine how amazing a boyfriend would be. Like, we're gonna go on all these cute dates, we're gonna grow together, we're gonna blah 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 blah. And me listening to that as someone who wants a boyfriend to be understood, this is kind of like a random example, because like you want like all of that in like an ideal situation, but just as an example, it's like, but you know, like, you're not really inspiring me, because I want a boyfriend, you want a boyfriend, but like, you want a boyfriend for different reasons. You need to go within yourself and fully feel what it is that you truly want, and be accepting of that, but just grow it and grow it and grow it and grow it. That's exactly what Neville meant in that small little passage. You see how I turned one little sentence that Neville wrote into a whole ass YouTube video? I hope that this inspired you and provided you with some value. I love you guys so, so, so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.